Hey guys, it's Marcy from Heathers and Hops. I am finally doing this video that I've been trying to do for ages, and that is going to be on a baby carrier. I am pretty much a one baby carrier person. I do have two, and I use the second one for certain situations, but for the most part I use this one carrier. And that carrier is the Catbird Baby Pikkolo, which I have in my Grovia wet bag, which fits perfectly. So the first thing you're going to notice is that my baby carrier fits in this bag, and it's really compact. It fits in here, it fits in my diaper bag, which is something that I love about it, and among other things, which I'm going to get into. It's a super simple carrier. You've probably never seen a carrier like this because it's not your typical carrier. It's not like a Tula at all. It's not like an Ergo. It's very different. And people I know in the baby wearing community who are very well versed in carriers, a lot of them haven't even heard of this carrier. And it's been around for over a decade. It's made by Catbird Baby, which is a small company out of Chicago. That's my dog walking by. And it's a pretty small operation. They do make two other carriers besides the Pikkolo. They make Mayday, which is very similar to this, and I'll talk about the differences of that in a minute. And they also make a wrap strap Mayday. So, but this is their flagship product, I would say, and for good reason. It's the perfect all-around carrier in my opinion, especially for people that have a specific body type, which I fall into that category, which I'll get into in a minute. So, this carrier, as you can see, just a couple of things right off the bat here. You'll notice that the waistband is unstructured. There is no firm padded waistband. It's just floppy, which some people are kind of like, that's weird. I'll get into that in a minute. The straps are a little bit different. They're also very floppy. These are memory foam, so they mold to your body very specifically. I've never seen, I think there's one other carrier, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a relatively new carrier on the market that has memory foam straps. But as far as I know, the Catbird Pikkolo is like one of two. And up until very recently, it was the only one. I don't understand why all carriers don't have that. The hood is a snap hood. It can also fit in this little pocket here if you want to have extra support for your baby. One thing you'll also notice is that a lot of carriers claim to be newborn to toddler, but they require an extra insert to use for a newborn. The Catbird Baby Pikkolo does not. It has an adjustment here, right here. Okay, it's this webbing here, and you pull this tight, and then pull this, and you can actually cinch the bottom of the carrier for a newborn baby. And then when you're ready to expand it, so it's totally customizable, which is great. It's not like snaps or something. Some of them have snaps, so you have like specific settings. This is an infinite adjustment, so it's really, really nice. You do have two-way adjustable straps. There are no PFAs on this carrier, which are the adjustments that would be up here. I personally hate those. I think that they're extremely bulky. I think that they're just like, it makes the carrier very busy looking, and there's just too much going on. This carrier is super streamlined, easy, and straightforward. And that was something that was important to me when I was a first-time mom. So when I discovered this carrier, I was looking for a carrier that I would be able to cross the straps on the back. That was something very important to me. I've got a bad back. I did not like carriers that you wore like a backwards backpack where you clip them back here. I find those really uncomfortable. So crossable straps was important to me. And I went to a local store called Bean Tree Baby, and I was fitted by a woman that works there, and she did a great job. So I tried on a Tula because I had to. Everybody has a Tula and they love it. Hated it. I tried on a Kinder Pack, which is what I thought I was going to end up with, because that is, you're able to cross the straps on that. Hated it. As soon as I put the Catbird Baby Pikkolo on, I knew this was my carrier. So, a few things that I want to talk about with this. So, my body type. Number one, I am high-waisted or short-waisted. I've got a short torso. My waist is like up here. So like when I wear like an empire waist dress, like that's actually my waist. Most people, their waist is more like down here by their hips. Mine's all the way up here. This is where I go in. When I tried on carriers that had those padded waist belts that sit down here, it was super uncomfortable for me. The other thing is that I had C-sections. I've had 2 C-sections. So when I wore those padded waistbands, they would dig into my scar in that whole pooch area, and it was really uncomfortable. So I needed something that was going to address those two issues, and I'm happy to say that this does. So when you put on a typical baby carrier with a padded waistband, you would, like, let's say that this is the waistband here, but like you would fold it like this and then put it on and buckle it. With the Catbird, you don't fold it. You're going to wear it like an apron. We call it apron style. And I can wear it all the way up here. So depending on your body type, so my waist is all the way up here. That's where I put my carrier. If your waist is lower, you can put it lower. If it's somewhere in the middle, you can put it in the middle. You can put this wherever you want. So even if I wear it below my natural waist, it still works. So when I have it up here, this is where I would wear it for a newborn. I can wear it up nice and high. So that effectively shortens the panel of the carrier. And my newborn would be up close enough to kiss. And I can make sure I can see if he or she is breathing properly. As they get older and I want to lengthen the panel, I can bring it down here. The panel becomes longer for an older baby. So it's really, really easy to adjust it, especially between caregivers. You don't need to worry about lengthening the panel with adjusters or anything like that. It's literally just where you place it on your body. So my husband wears it lower, I wear it up higher. And you can see from the back, it's a two-way adjustment. A lot of carriers, you just have one this way, which I find really annoying because I like to be able to adjust it, you know, in like kind of micro adjustments. So I'll put it up here and kind of just like do a little bit here and a little bit here. So I got my carrier up on my natural waist. And then if I have baby in here, which I'm going to get baby soon, he's just napping right now. What I can do then is take one strap, bring it around, click it in, and then I cross the other strap in the back. And I bring it over to the side. What crossable straps allow is for the weight to be distributed more across your shoulders and your back instead of like just on your shoulders, which is what I feel like the backpack style, backwards backpack style does for me. And then I can actually adjust this two ways. So I can pull this way and I can also pull this way. And you know, doing it in the different directions actually like kind of lifts the baby up, brings the baby closer to you. Very, very easy. And again, I said that these are memory foam, okay? So these can actually, you can use them to cup your shoulders if you want to. They're very flexible and cushy. You see I can, you know, squeeze them and they go right back into shape. Not so, you won't find that with other carriers. They're just like actual foam, and you are not able to do that with them. So you've got your little pouch for your baby here. I can sit down when I'm wearing this carrier because it doesn't have that big bulky waist belt. I can sit down in it very comfortably. Never had an issue with that. I can roll up this hood and put it back here, and this will give my newborn extra head support. Or I can take it out and use it to cover baby if baby is having a nap. And it's got several adjustments, several different snaps. There's one snap to attach it right up here. So, and it's stretchy. Okay, this stretches, elastic. So I can make it nice and tight if baby's really little and baby needs that extra head support for a nap, or I can loosen it. And it's literally just like that. Sometimes I'll even just have one side snapped if we're like walking through the parking lot and it's really sunny. So I'll have baby here and just kind of drape this over his head so he'll still be able to see out, which he likes. The other thing that a lot of carriers claim is that you can do multiple positions with them. So you've got your front facing in, your front facing out, your hip carry, and your back carry. The Pikkolo is able to do all of that with very, very little adjusting. If you've ever tried to do a hip carry in an ergo baby, you'll know that you probably will never try it again because it's a huge pain in the butt. With the Pikkolo, it's really easy. And actually, Rachel Ullman, I will link to her videos below. She did a great video, so easy, of how to do a hip carry in this. And effectively what she does is she puts her baby in, facing in carry, and then she takes one strap off, slides the carrier over, and then tightens, and then baby's on your hip. There's nothing else to adjust. It's very, very simple. So you can be walking around facing in carry, and all of a sudden baby really wants to see out and see what's going on in the world. They don't want to be facing you. So you can be like, boom, and you got a side carry. Very simple. If you want to do a forward facing out carry, also very simple. Very, very little adjusting to do. The only thing you're going to want to do is actually cinch the waistband here a little bit, just to narrow it, narrow the base of the carrier, and put baby in that way. So it's the same principle. Put the carrier on like this, stick baby in it, facing out, cross your straps, and you're good to go. I do like to tuck the hood in when baby's facing out. I feel like it keeps them more upright. And of course you want baby to be in that seated position. You don't want their legs kind of dangling. It's not very comfortable for them. So the Pikkolo allows for that great, customization to keep their legs in the proper position. So they're literally like just sitting in the carrier with their legs kind of out like that. And then of course you can do a back carry. Now what's awesome about a Pikkolo, so if any of you are familiar with an Ambuhimo, which is something that I tried and was not happy with. And Ambuhimo is looks very similar to this, except it doesn't have a waistband, so it kind of would like clip in, like the straps just kind of look like this. So you'd have these straps going into the side here, but nothing on the bottom, kind of. And so you can kind of wear the baby like a little backpack, and you don't have to worry about anything around your waist or anything. It looks really good. It's good if you're pregnant, especially because there's nothing, upsetting your waist there. But I found an Ambuhimo to be really uncomfortable because I've got bad shoulders. So I figured out a hack thanks to a member of the Catbird Collective, which is the VIP group for Catbird Baby. You can actually wear your Pikkolo kind of like an Ambuhimo. And I'm going to show all of this with my baby later. One thing you can do is you can wear the straps right under your bust line. Or you can actually put them above your bust line. And this will effectively give you a high back carry. So if I got baby in there, now I did not adjust my straps properly and I should have done that, but I can do that later to show you. I would actually, these would actually be attached and then I would clip it in the front. But I can get baby super, super high. If you've ever seen an Ergo baby or a Tula in a back carry, baby's, your waistband is still all the way down here. So your baby's head is kind of like, down here. When you're doing a high back carry, the benefit of that is baby can actually see over your shoulder, just like he or she would be able to do in an Ambuhimo. You can do that with the Pikkolo. You can wear it low if you want to also, and I have, but it's really nice to be able to wear baby nice and high. And this is not uncomfortable. It looks weird. The first time I heard about it, I was like, and I've seen women with all different body shapes do this, and it's comfortable across the board. So it's your choice. You can do that if you want to, but it's something that I thought I would share. So it's a super versatile carrier. I think it just kind of does it all, and it's very, very comfortable. The other thing is, if you like the idea of the memory foam straps and the easy to adjust base of the carrier and all that stuff in the hood and everything, but you really, really, really want a waist belt on your carrier, guess what? Catbird Baby sells an accessory so you can put a waistband on here if you really want one. I think it's like $25. So you can put that on here, and that will, they call it the toddler support belt. The one criticism I have of the carrier, because there is one, is that even at its widest setting, if you've got a long-legged baby, the base of the carrier is not super wide. I don't have exact measurements, but it is a newborn to toddler carrier. But if you've got a really large toddler with long legs, you might want to get a toddler carrier. And unfortunately, the Pikkolo only comes in one size. So I do wish that they would offer a toddler size. I think that would be really good. And Catbird Baby offers another carrier that I can show you. This is a Catbird Baby Mayday. And it looks very similar to the Pikkolo, except you'll notice a few different things. One, it doesn't have a hood. Okay, but it has that same unstructured waistband, but the way to attach it is actually with straps that you tie. So this can look a little intimidating to some people, myself included, but it's actually very simple. So what's great about the Catbird Baby Medi is that the base of the carrier is much wider than the Pikkolo. It still offers a ton of support. This is also a newborn to toddler carrier. It does have this little loop here, which you can use to actually cinch the waistband to make it more appropriate for a smaller baby. So it narrows the base of the carrier. So the Medi is great, I think, if you're going to be using it for long periods of time. I like to use this when I'm doing high back carries. I find it more comfortable than the Pikkolo for longer periods. So if I'm going apple picking, for example, this is my carrier that I go to. I use this for apple picking with my first last year, and I loved it, and she loved it. So, but the concept is the same. You would attach it like you would an apron. You can put it anywhere on your body. I like doing my natural waist. Tie it, just a double knot. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to cross the straps on this one as well. And then you can do some kind of fun things in the front. You can do a double knot if you want to. You can kind of like crisscross and tie in the back. You can use all sorts of pretty things in it. Baby can face in or out with this as well. You can do a hip carry in it, and you can do that great high back carry. So that same thing where I tied it above my bust line with my Pikkolo, I'm going to do that again. And this is nice because you can really tighten it a lot. Nice and tight. Baby goes in the back rather. And then I can do all sorts of fun things to tie this. So baby's leg will go over and under. And then I can tie this off. This. Oops. I'll do all this later with baby, but suffice to say for now. So you can get baby up super high. I mean, look where the top of the carrier is. So with baby's weight obviously in there, it's gonna lower it a little bit, but I mean, baby's gonna be right over your shoulder and be able to see everything. So this is really fun, especially when I'm cooking dinner. I would put, you know, my first in there, and she'd watch everything, and like, you know, her arms would be out and she'd be trying to help me and everything. It was really cute. So I like this a lot. So very versatile carriers. That's it. They offer these two, and they just came out with a wrap strap Medi. So that's essentially this carrier, but instead of these like thinner straps, they're really wide swaths of woven fabric that you can tie and crisscross and do all sorts of really pretty finishes with. The carrier is beautiful. I'm not that kind of a person. I really like simple, easy, clean, and that's what I get with their carriers. They're very well priced. I believe that the Pikkolo retails for $129.99, and if you look at Catbird's Facebook page and you join the Catbird Collective, often Beth, the owner, will do 20% off, or she'll do certain colors at 20% off. It's a really well priced carrier. It's, you know, less expensive or on par with, you know, an Ergo or a Tula. And then the Medis are actually, a lot of them are under $100. The straps on this are just a little padded. They're not the memory foam. I wish they were. I wish she would do that. But so there you have it. Those are the carriers that I have. I have tried several other ones, and because I'm like, oh, you know, I want to try something different. I'm tired of these. I use them all the time. And every time I try something else, I'm like, no, I really don't like this. I actually got a couple of traveling carriers from different companies that people are raving about, and I'm like, these aren't comfortable. I was actually going to do a review of one of them because I had the carrier for 2 weeks, and I tried it on once, and it sat on my couch for 2 weeks. It just wasn't something I was excited about, and I didn't feel comfortable recommending. My Pikkolo is great. It's on its second kid now, still looks brand new, machine washable, fully adjustable, super awesome. So when baby wakes up, I'm going to show you how he fits in it. Stay tuned for more.